Hey everybody, Mr. Spiker here, giving you your fitness and music collaboration example. So within this example, each loop is going to have its own exercise. So for instance, when you hear this, you can do push-ups. When you hear this, high knees. When you hear this, squats. And when you hear this, that's the time to do those boxing punches. So get creative with this, have fun with this. And now, first one, push-ups to the beat. High knees. Next, we're going to do side squats. All right, boxing punches. Push-ups. That's it. So have fun with this. Get creative. Come up with any moves you want. This is your time to shine. Have fun. And now I'm going to send you off to Miss Poke.
Thank you, Mr. Spiker, for that excellent demonstration. This is Miss Poke, aka Maestra, if you follow me on BandLab. I'm going to take you through the simple steps to create the music for your exercise routine or for your art project that you will hear about later. So all you need to do is just click continue with Google and it should take you right to the actual platform. So once you are here, let's click create and that will take us straight into the mix editor. And once you're there, you're gonna have this pop up. So for now, we're not really worried about instruments or drum machines or anything, or the guitar or the bass. We're working solely with loops. So click on Browse Loops. That gives you all the loop packs that have all kinds of sounds to choose from. BandLab actually just uploaded a lot of cool loop packs such as Turbo Trap, and that's the one that we're going to be focusing on to make this beat today. So we're going to go ahead and click inside of there. And if I were you, I would just take a few minutes just to go through and explore all the different types of sounds. And if you notice, everything starts with turbo. Now let's make the magic. I'm going to take you through the steps on how I created the Fab Turbo Trap track. Start off with choosing a turbo trap drum. This is what will play throughout the whole song. It never changes. It's like our steady beat, basically. So I chose the Turbo Trap Drum 9. And we're gonna drag it into the, dare I say it? We're gonna drag it into the box. And make sure you drag it all the way to the beginning. Make sure it starts right at 1. If you need to, you drag it over a little bit. So now we need this to be longer. It needs to go all the way to 37. If you see these numbers up here, we've probably called them bars, but they're also called measures as well. And we need to get this all the way to 37. So take your cursor, make sure it turns to the arrow that's going this way. Then you click and you drag. We're gonna drag that all the way to 37. At this point, since we just have our continuous steady drum beat, let's hear what that sounds like. So that's what we're gonna start with. So now let's get to the actual exercise sounds. So for push-ups, we went with Turbo Trap Synth 1. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click it, we're gonna drag it into the box. And now we're not gonna start it at the beginning, because if you listen to the song again, you actually had 4 measures or 4 bars to, get your stretching done, or, do your neck side to side to get yourself loosened up. So we're actually gonna start this at bar 5. And each exercise has to last for 8 bars or 8 measures. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we need this loop to go all the way to 12. And just to get this out of the way, you can click on here to get rid of the loop box, and then it's a little more clear. So let's drag that all the way through 12, and it stops at 13. Now here's a quick tip. You may notice that something looks a little bit off right here. It's a little bit extra sounds that's gonna happen. So that actually tells me that something's off on one of the bars because it didn't stop, or the loop didn't end when it was supposed to. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna click and we're gonna drag this to make sure it lines up right at the 5, and it starts right at 5. As you see, it kind of locks like a magnet once you do that. Then we're gonna go back here and we're gonna drag it back so it stops and it cuts off perfectly. All right, so I'm gonna walk you through one more time for the high knees, and we'll go through this quickly, and then we'll just get everything else set up and we'll get the song going. So if you got rid of your loop box, go ahead and click the loops and they'll appear right here. So for high knees, we did Turbo Trap Synth 40. So let's find that down here, Synth 40, let's keep going. All right, let's drag that into the box. So this is gonna start right after what we did for push-ups. And make sure it lines up with 13, because that's gonna start on 13. So now remember, it has to go for 8 bars. So I'm gonna get rid of this. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we gotta drag this all the way through measure 20, and it stops at 21. And there you go. It goes really quick after that. And with that, I send you off to Miss Cooley.
Hey, this is Miss Cooley. On this part of the project, I wanted to show you real quick the design process I went through to create a logo for music and the routine that Ms. Poke and Mr. Spiker designed for y'all. Now, if you remember from school, I talk a lot about visual communication, how images are used to communicate an idea or a theme or message. In this video, I kind of want to show you some of the thinking process I went through to make sure my design best communicates their music or routines, as well as kind of give you guys an idea of how you should tackle this project as well. Thing you do before you design an album cover, listen to the music. So what you're hearing in the background right now is Miss Polk's original composition she made for the workout aspect. And I just take my time and listen to things that stand out about the music. For example, the track's called Turbo Track, so I have to include that into my design. But I notice how kind of chill the beats are. It's not really as intense or upbeat as most workout tracks. It's almost kind of like calculated, kind of not quite robotic, but still has that really technical aspect to it. But still very mellow and kind of like wanna bop your head to. I'm no music teacher, words are hard, but I kind of get the idea. I'm starting to pick out some things I've noticed that I want to include in my design. Chill, calculated, but still kind of upbeat enough to move to. Now, what you see in my design right now is kind of a graffiti mock-up, little sketch. Ms. Polk suggested that maybe going for a graffiti aspect because, you know, trap music is kind of, I guess, street-esque music. I don't know, I'm not a music teacher, but I like taking suggestions from the composer. So, there you go. I already have my themes of chill, technical, calculated, and graffiti. Once you got the theme, then you start sketching. Now, if you've ever taken a class with me, you know I always say to do more than one sketch. Why? Because your first sketch may not always be your best one, so it never hurts to experiment. As you can see here, I have kind of like similar but different sketches and designs to go for the music. I think for the first few ideas, I really wanted to focus on the turbo aspect of Turbo Trap, because when I saw turbo, I thought intense, I thought workout, and you know, this is a workout music. So I tried using more like warmer, intense colors like red, yellows, try to add speed lines. And if you were following my theme, this isn't really fitting with the music. Again, the music was pretty chill, it wasn't as intense. So once I went back to the theming of the chill part, I started playing around with the colors, using more like blues and purples, which are more quiet and calmer. And again, just playing around. So after a few sketches, I'm starting to get closer to a design I'm really comfortable with. I tried to communicate the calculated technical parts with a more like computerized, blocky text design for Turbo, but still maintain the graffiti aspect with the word trap. Again, trying to create a logo that's kind of communicating the style of music Ms. Polk created. And now we have our final design. Again, trying to visually communicate all the themes that we discussed earlier. The chill design coming from the really cool colors of the blue violets and the light blue. The calculated mechanical aspect from the computery text of Turbo. But also wanted that graffiti street style with the word trap. Again, using visual aspects to communicate my design and theme. I ended up making another design. Now this one isn't the best representation of the music, at least compared to the last one, but I just really liked the more heavier push on the graffiti look, as well as the use of the reds and yellows for a warm, intense look, because as chill as it is, this music is still for a workout, and I wanted to represent that intensity through its color. So not the best in terms of visual communication, but still using the idea of communicating a theme, in this case intensity, with images or colors. So speed round, same idea with making your logo for just fitness and only fitness routine. Think about the themes, think about what's the strongest parts that you want to communicate. In this case, there's a lot of different varieties in routine. You have your push-ups, your air boxing, your side-to-side lunges, and it's also a very intense workout. If you tried it, it hurts, it's sweaty, so I want to ensure the intensity is communicated. So bada bing, bada boom, multiple sketches, experimenting, and I came up with this final design. Again, the variety from the multiple poses, as well as the intensity from all the speed lines. It's going whoosh. Again, think about the theme, multiple sketches, the best design that visually communicates.